Hey there. We were talking about superhero TV shows, live action ones, and we've gotten to Wonder Woman, and we forgot one.
We did.
We forgot a very important one. Um, if you're a fan of classic films, then you've probably seen the classical musical film, The Sound of Music. And as you were watching The Sound of Music, and you saw the Von Trapp children escaping from the Nazis, you were probably thinking at the time, "Hey, wouldn't that make a good Spider-Man?"
And it would.
Yes, because Nicholas Hammond from The Sound of Music plays Spider-Man in the live-action TV series. It started as a series of movies. And in the movie, he had bad allergies. So he would sneeze a lot and almost fall off the walls. The Spider-Man web kind of looked like a net. And there was really no real, Spider-Man bad guys in the series.
He fought Oddjob.
He fought Oddjob, yeah.
He fought Oddjob from James Bond. I mean, I don't even...
Didn't he fight a mummy, too?
Yeah, he did.
He fought a mummy.
That's what you think of when you,
Spider-Man. Well
when
done.
I was... Amazing Spider-Man 2 is coming out. Not too long from now. And I really can't wait until, to see, hey, are they going to include Oddjob and the Mummy, maybe?
Well, it's going to be... You know what? I'd rather see Oddjob and the Mummy than I would their version of Rhino.
I don't know. The version of Rhino's... I think their version of...
And I'm a Paul Giamatti. I like Paul Giamatti, but...
I think their version of Green Goblin is really going to get to me. Next?
Not tea. Coffee. Colombian.
So, okay. Spider-Man. We got through with Spider-Man, Oddjob, hat throw.
Spider-Man was pretty fun, though. The characters were very much not like the characters that you would remember. J. Jonah Jameson was nothing like the J. Jonah Jameson from the comic books.
You know, there technically was one other live-action Spider-Man.
Which one are we going to talk?
The Japanese Spider-Man.
The Toho one. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that
Very
was much different.
Very different.
But much better.
Much darker, much cooler. A lot of, big tech, like mechs in there. And aliens, of course, and big monsters. Now, there's one that I was thinking of, I was going to mention, and I just forgot about it for a second, and that was the Captain America films.
Oh, yeah.
There was pilots for, actually, there was pilots for a couple ones. There's two for Captain America, which we're going to talk about, and one for Doctor Strange, which is actually going to become a movie. So, in Captain America, they got Reb Brown, a kind of young bodybuilding-looking guy, to play basically what's really actually the son of Captain America.
Yeah.
He's an artist, which works with the Captain America comics at the time, because Steve, oh
my God. Can we seriously not remember his name?
Let's see, I just read...
Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, thank you. I just finished reading... Yeah, Steve Rogers was an artist. So, in the comics anyway, and so that was kind of neat there. They did have the second movie is better than the first, although motorcycles, yeah. And they got an extremely horrible
see-through shield.
Yeah, but the freaky thing is they have Christopher Lee in the second movie.
Yeah, no, that was
and Christopher Lee is playing and he's speaking with an English accent, and he's playing Spanish. Kind of terrorist,
Spanish terrorist guy who meets his in the end in a pretty gruesome way, actually.
Yeah, it's actually fairly cool. If you can get the Shed Factory put out the double feature set of both those movies, and they're very fun. They're very cheesy. First one is really bad. Second one's much more fun to watch than the first one. Doctor Strange, unfortunately, has not made it to DVD yet, as far as I know. Peter Horton, I think, played Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And it's very 70s. Jessica Walters is actually one of the villains. I think she's the main villain. Who you will probably know, guys, from the Clint Eastwood's first directed film, Play Misty for Me. And I gotta say, I did like that one. I'm a huge fan of that film. Apparently, I may have to go and sack a cat back for it. You tried to get up on my movies. I do not like that kitty cat.
We're all good.
That was weird.
Next.
But next up, we're going to go into the 80s stuff now.
I suppose.
We're going to miss a lot here, but I want to talk about Adventures of Superboy.
Oh, I was just going to bring that up.
Adventures of Superboy was a great series.
Yeah.
There were two Superboys. The first one was played by John James Newton. And the second one was played by Gerard Christopher. He would play it from series 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
I think it's the precursor to Smallville, which we'll obviously talk about after.
Yeah. No, not quite. There's one show before that, Superman show before that.
Well, I don't mean directly prior. I mean it's very in vein of that.
Yeah, it's very the first season, although it's considered to be cheesier, it doesn't have as much of the superhero stuff. It did have some pretty good episodes, and the ending episode with Lex got pretty dark. The first Lex, of course, is very much the yuppie Lex, a younger actor that's playing him. This is before Sherman Howard would take over in the second season.
Yeah.
And he pretty much seems like a low-key Lex, almost like the Gene Hackman Lex of doing kind of low-key stuff. Not too threatening, but not too threatening. There's some pretty good episodes in the show.
There's a lot. The Road's Not Taken.
It's
a great episode.
Let's get into the Jared Christopher stuff, and he has some great stuff. Jared Christopher was a huge fan of the comic books.
Oh,
so you got
one thing that wasn't good ever.
Mr.
Mxyzptlk.
Mxyzptlk's not that bad.
Mxyzptlk is really.
We'll get to that in a second. It's Michael J. Pollard.
It's Michael J. Pollard, but in the Mxyzptlk comic outfit.
Literally,
It's cool to see that he's in the outfit, but he's like, oh, Superboy, you can't trick me into saying my name.
But this is
and just
a
full-grown, overweight man in a suit, walking in, going, hey there. It's hilarious.
Michael Pollard was a actual child actor from back in the days of I can actually see him back as a kid playing in Star Trek. There was a Star Trek series, and I guess, in a way, having Michael Pollard in it as Mxyzptlk, who's kind of like the doesn't grow up imp. In a way, when you think about it, may have been a little bit of stunt casting at the time. It wasn't the greatest, but it was good. You have to understand that back then, he did some really great stuff. Jared Christopher, when he took over as Superboy, he went straight for the comic books. One of the first things he did was he did a movie early on with Betsy Russell, and had Betsy Russell come back for an episode, and where she played, I don't want to give it away, but she played somebody from the future who knew Superboy's identity. The Road Not Taken was an amazing episode. Wasn't that the one that had Ron Ely as the older version of Superman?
Yeah, I think so.
Very dark episode.
Road Not Taken is awesome.
We make Lex a villain that's formidable right from the beginning.
There's an episode.
We see him as a more comedic Lex in some ways, but he murders his friend in the opener of the second season.
Yeah, there's an episode where I think it's he has Lana, I think it is, or something.
Lana's in the series.
Kidnapped in a mine. In the episode, I don't remember exactly what happened, but it goes back through his history and shows you his relationship with his parents, I believe.
Doesn't he kill them?
And yeah, but it also shows you his relationship with his sister, I think. And it talks more about why he does what he does and who he is as a person.
It was an
excellent show.
It was going into a fifth season when all of a sudden something else happened. And do you want to say what it was?
No, because I need to take a drink.
Okay, speaking of taking a drink, Cassie, can you give the kitty some water? Because they're almost out and she's trying to get water. Desperate. Lois and Clark was created from ABC, and they blocked the filming of the fifth series of season. Sorry, I'm thinking English stuff. The fifth season of the Amazing Adventures of Superboy. So the show was canceled. And now get this, Jared Christopher, who played the role of Superboy, who had pretty much grown into Superman at this point, actually auditioned for the role of Superman. Lois, yeah. Lois.
No, I didn't mean in Lois and Clark.
In Lois and Clark. And he pretty much had the role. It was given to him. Then they realized, hey, this is the actor from Superboy. We want to distance ourselves from that show, and they didn't choose him.
That's sad. That would have been cool to have a cohesive one-to-one thing.
They wanted to distance themselves from the series.
It was a definitely different type of show than Superboy was.
Superboy
was much more about the comics and a little bit more about
Lois and Clark
and stuff,
was a relationship-centric show. Yeah. Very much comedy. Lois and Clark is very much a throwback to the screwball comedies of the 1930s. Yeah. You're pretty much watching, His Girl Friday type of thing with Lois and Clark. Some great stuff. Some great actors. I love the version of Perry. Unfortunately, the actress passes away now.
It's a good show.
This is a great show. It's
Not
highly
my favorite
underrated.
comic book show.
But you know what I really like about it? The most underrated version of Lex Luthor that you will ever see is in Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman in the first season. John Shea, a pretty famous Canadian actor, and he's pretty quirky and he's unique and he puts kind of different aspects into stuff, but he doesn't like to stay in shows very long. He kind of pulls himself out, usually because... And Lois and Clark was another one where he ended up leaving the show, and it actually worked okay. Because the first season is the complete Lex Luthor story arc, and I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't like the clone thing that they brought back.
Twist bang type thing.
It ends with a splat.
Yeah.
Literally a splat.
There's some spoilers right there for an older show.
And it is a great show. If you haven't watched Lois and Clark, like watch it, and don't just watch it and say, no, yes, so you're going to see some of the effects are dated and stuff like that by now, but listen to the dialogue. Listen to how crisp and clear and how snappy the rapport is between the two leads.
Watch most any Superman show. Almost all of them are good to a degree.
I can't think of the Superman show right now. That's not...
Even the animated shows. Like, we're not talking animated shows. This is live action shows, but like we go to like the Ruby Shears and like.
Oh man, let's not go there. We gotta wait.
But, like Superman pretty much can't be done bad.
You can
unless
it's
the fight for peace
or Superman Returns.
That's true.
Now we forgot one again.
Did we again?
We
Jesus.
did. Swamp Thing.
Oh God, I love Swamp Thing.
Live action Swamp Thing starts out pretty cheesy and
it takes a very dark turn.
Yes, it does. In Swamp Thing, and we're going to give this away, Spotter, because by now you should have seen Swamp Thing. If you haven't, check it out.
Come on.
It's a TV series. It was a big one. There's a little boy in Swamp Thing.
Yeah, he was one of the mainer characters, actually.
He was the main character of Swamp Thing. So they decided to go a different way and bring in some new characters. Including,
so how does one get rid of a little boy?
Why, have the villain fake his death and sell him into child slavery. Swamp Thing does not save him from this. He is not found again or heard from again.
The last scene is of him on a truck, being like in a truck, not knowing where he is, being taken away. And he's never mentioned
onto a boat type thing.
Yeah, and he's never really mentioned again. And,
no, he's never. His mom doesn't get him back. He's gone. He is sold into child slavery in another country.
Very dark.
That is very dark.
But you can expect that from Swamp Thing.
And of course, this is Swamp Thing as played by the same guy that played him in the movies.
Which is cool.
I
love the Swamp Thing show. And I should rewatch it sometime soon, because I'm rewatching a lot of superhero shows.
Well, we should rewatch
spoilers
soon.
alert. This is why.
I have the Wes Craven Blu-ray Swamp Thing from Screen Factory, which is very good. We're Ray Wise.
Yeah, all right. It could definitely. That's the reason we did this. Is because I'm rewatching several different superhero shows right now. None of which.
But we're not going to get those shows till the part 3 of this video.
Yeah, no, because we underestimated how many superhero shows there were. Like,
and how much we have to say about them.
Yeah, the third part's going to be.
Adventures of Super Boy. I love that show.
I really do. Road's Not Taken is excellent. Oh my god, I love the Yellow Canary, Silver Canary.
I don't know. There's a vampire episode that I really like.
Banshee. That's right. Silver Banshee episode.
I like the Metallo episodes, although the effects weren't the greatest. I did like the way it was done. And well, we'll get into this more because obviously we have a lot more to say about superhero TV shows. I hope you guys are liking these. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below. We do appreciate the comments. And if you haven't watched our Akira video yet, go back and watch the video and comment on it. Yeah, just saying. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to finish off my coffee right now.
And then it's time for more tea. You're going to die early.
Don't say that.
I'm joking, Dad. Okay. You're fine.
It's time for tea after coffee.
A dark turn, right?